Hey there, how's it going everybody? Today I'll be sharing with you how I go about planting my fruit trees, whether it's container grown or bare root. First off, I like to choose a nice overcast day if possible, and we got some rain in the forecast, so that's even better. I'll be starting off here planting this container grown avocado tree, and once I mark the area in which I'm going to plant, I'm just going to pull back the mulch. If I didn't have mulch here, I'd be taking the grass and the weeds out of this area. I'll be amending the soil here using some organic fertilizer, some compost, and some mycorrhizae, which can aid in root development as well as assist the plant with uptake of nutrients and water. When planting fruit trees, you want to prepare an area that's at least twice the diameter of either the container or the root mass of the bare root tree. So over time, I've come to prefer planting my fruit trees in a mound rather than digging a hole. There's many reasons for that. It helps to improve drainage. It ensures that the tree won't be planted too low, even after the tree and the ground beneath has done some settling. It also helps to account for the fact that you may be building up your soil over time if you're doing mulching every year. So instead of using a shovel and digging a hole here, I'm just forking over the soil and mixing those amendments in. As you can see, we got a nice growing medium here. The tree's going to basically sit atop that. And now I'm digging a separate hole, and I'm going to be adding my amendments into here and mixing it all together. So the soil that's coming out of this secondary hole here is going to be used to mound up around the tree, as you'll see momentarily. And you just want to make sure that whatever amendments you might be adding to your native soil, that you get that mixed together nice and thoroughly. Once again, I'm just marking out the exact spot where the tree is going to go. And I'm just going to scrape back an indention here, not a hole, but I'm just going to bring it down about 2 to 3 inches and clear out any larger chunks of wood or anything else that's left behind. Now I'm just going to gently pull the tree out of the container. You want to be very careful to keep the dirt together as not to disturb the roots. Now I'm just going to gently lay it into its new home. And then dust it with a little bit of mycorrhizae. Now I'm using that soil that I mixed together to create the mound around the tree. So once I got all the soil mounded around the plant, I'm going to give it a nice good soaking with some rainwater a couple times over. Then I'm going to go ahead and cover that with a nice thick layer of wood and leaf mulch. It's during the mulching that I'll kind of step in around the plant and compact the soil a bit. Now that the tree's planted, the last step is to just offer it some protection while it's getting going here. So I'm going to protect it using some of my larger tomato cages made out of concrete reinforcement wire. Then I'll just use a little bit of baling wire and secure that to a T-post, and that keeps it nice and sturdy. So the process for doing bare root fruit trees is basically the same. This here tree is an heirloom pineapple quince. And this area where I'm going to be planting this tree, the soil's a bit better here. I had a compost heap going here for several years. And I'll be taking down this pallet-made compost system a bit down the road, so that's why I'm planting the tree here. And because of the way it's situated, I'll be digging and amending the soil that I'm going to be mounding around the tree first. So it's the same process. I'm using some potting mix. So in the case of bare root fruit trees, I don't add any other fertilizer than what's already composted down into the potting mix, which has worm castings and that sort of thing. Otherwise, you run the risk of potentially burning some of the more tender roots on these bare root trees. But I will still sprinkle it with a bit of mycorrhizae. And it's the same process. I'm mounding it up. Now, because the bare root tree has all those exposed roots, what I do as I'm mounding up the soil is I'm just gently lifting up the tree, wiggling it around a little bit. That way, all the soil can fall right in there in between all the different roots. And now, just like with the other tree, I'm going to backfill the hole, and I'm also going to put a nice thick mulch of wood chips and leaf mulch around the tree. And again, I'll just tamp it in a bit with my shoes and use the water to give it a nice dousing to really get that soil completely surrounding the roots without any air chambers down below. Now it's time to prune, and I'm using the alcohol to go ahead and clean my pruners and my loppers. Now this is the part that makes a lot of people cringe, but please don't fret. This is the best thing you could possibly do to a bare root fruit tree when you bring it home, is to lop it off just above knee level, and that's going to give you a nice foundation of growth over the next couple years. And I'll give you some examples of that here shortly. You'll notice with the avocado that I didn't lop the top off. And the reason for that is because I found out through experience that those younger avocado trees don't really bounce back like the bare root fruit trees when you lop those off. So I just wanted to share with you in this video some of the results that I'm getting using the same technique of lopping off those dormant bare root fruit trees when you're getting them planted in the ground. And as you can see here with the Santa Rosa plum, it's all but completely healed, and over time it will completely heal. And as you can see, we're getting this beautiful foundational growth, nice strong limbs that will support a heavy fruit set for years and years to come. Here we've got a Florida King peach, same result. And here's an Arctic J white nectarine. So I've used the same technique on all the bare root fruit trees that I planted out here. So that's it for now, everybody. And as always, I hope this video finds you and finds you well, out in the world and out in your garden, planting more abundance in your life. Take care, everybody. I'll be talking to you again soon.